work for the government. Are the rights guaranteed by the Constitution truly guaranteed, or are they subject to a majority in Congress or the whims of bureaucrats? Does Congress even know what the Constitution is? Today, the Congress and the Constitution. Yesterday, the 112th Congress legally came into existence. In the House, which is controlled by Republicans, they are divided among the big government, George Bush, spend whatever you must to keep your friends afloat, Republicans, and the small government, Ron Paul, let's follow the Constitution and keep our money sound, Republicans. The Democrats are similarly divided between the Nancy Pelosi nanny state, we can write any law we want, liberals, and the blue dog, let's be practical, Democrats. The Democrats ran roughshod over the Constitution and have brought us halfway to socialism. Before that, the Republicans steamrolled the Constitution and brought us halfway to fascism. It seems that both parties don't understand, don't follow, and aren't interested in the Constitution. Both parties think they can write any law, regulate any behavior, and tax any event. Yesterday, when all members were sworn into office, they took an oath to uphold the Constitution. I wonder how many of them took that oath seriously. I ask that because today, your House of Representatives wasted dozens of man and woman hours and thousands of dollars reading the Constitution aloud to each other. Is this any way to run the government? Shouldn't those who took an oath to uphold the Constitution at least have read it before they took the oath? Will they now read all 4,000 federal criminal statutes or all 40,000 pages of the tax regulations? Do your members of Congress have respect for you, their bosses, such little respect for you that they would subject you and themselves to such a wasteful farce? Before this 3-hour waste of time began, the Congress actually debated which version of the Constitution they would read to each other. The Republicans wanted to read a scaled-down version that eliminated the portions that have been changed by amendment. The Democrats wanted to read the document as it was written and then read the amendments. The Republicans prevailed, and the stripped-down version was read. No mention of its original endorsement of slavery for this crowd. Rewrite history as though some awful events had never happened. What's going on here? Here is a Republican Party that would still be in the minority were it not for the Tea Party folks. Here is a Republican House leadership throwing a symbolic bone to the Tea Partiers, most of whom have committed much of the Constitution to memory. Here is your government, having promised to save you money, spending its first day in existence, wasting it. And don't expect any better next week when they vote on the debt ceiling. Yesterday and today on this show, I interviewed a half-dozen new Tea Party Republican House members, and I asked every single one of them if they would vote to raise the debt ceiling. No one said no. They all left open the opportunity for compromise. Compromise that increases debt, forces more borrowing, and raises taxes. So we are left with a Congress that wastes its time and your money as if they were school children, and is starting to sound very different from those lovers of the free market for whom many of you voted. I've said this before, and I will say it again. If the Republicans let the president borrow and spend as he wants, if they raise the debt ceiling beyond its present $14 trillion, no one of them will be taken seriously again. They will be relegated to the dustbin of history, and they will be welcomed there. From New York,